Across the country, businesses are being named and shamed for failing to pay their workers minimum wage. Devin Williamson has more.
On the list of businesses is a takeaway here in Lincoln. Everest Express has failed to pay one employee over £600. It has not been confirmed yet whether the restaurant will have to pay any further fines. The minimum wage for 21-year-olds and up is $6.50, $5.13 for 18 to 20-year-olds, and $3.79 for under 18s per hour. Nationally, financial penalties of more than £70,000 will be given to 50 businesses. Everest Express were unavailable for comment. Back to you guys in the studio.
Housing sales in Lincoln increased by over a quarter last year, according to Lloyd's Banking Group. The figure was above the national average of 21% in the first 10 months of 2014. The report also showed that the East Midlands had the biggest year-on-year increase with a 26% jump. However, Lincoln sales are still down on pre-recession figures from 2007.
Well, as you can tell, it's still quite windy out today. It's going to remain breezy this afternoon, getting increasing wind speeds. We're going to be having a high of 5 degrees. Looking ahead to this evening, the low will be 3 degrees and we'll have a lot of cloud cover as well. Back to you in the studio.
Hello and welcome to LSJ News. 148 people have died in a plane crash in the French Alps.
The Labour Party have pledged not to increase VAT, and a new sign has been erected to mark the entrance to historic Lincoln.
Good afternoon, it's 3:45. I'm Liam Ray.
And I'm Kelly Pyatt.
A plane has crashed in the French Alps near Digne.
German Wings flight TU9525 was travelling from Barcelona to Dusseldorf in Germany.
Our reporter Philip Wilson-Smith has been following the story today. Philip, do we know how many people were on board? In international news, the UK may be sending reinforcements over to the Falkland Islands. George Birch has more on this and other news from around the world.
Yes, Liam. There have been reports today that the United Kingdom are to increase their defences in the Falklands Islands. This comes as Argentina have allegedly bought 12 bombers, although the deal is still yet to be confirmed. It is expected that reinforcements could be sent to the islands later this week. The American state of Utah are planning to reinstate the use of firing squad to execute prisoners. Utah is struggling to find alternative execution methods amid a nationwide shortage of lethal drugs. This began when European companies opposing the death penalty started refusing to sell drugs for use in capital punishment. That's all for your international news for now. Back to you in the studio.
A Labour government would not raise VAT if they were to come into power, Shadow Chancellor Ed Balls has said.
The Shadow Chancellor announced the pledge at a speech in Birmingham today, saying that the rise would not happen with him in number 11 Downing Street.
The Conservatives have said that it's time Labour came clean with the public about which taxes they'll raise.
Visitors to the historic part of Lincoln will be receiving a different kind of welcome. A new wrought iron archway will greet visitors to the uphill area to Lincoln. Angeline McCall has been to look at the handiwork.
Lincolnshire has been chosen to pilot a brand new bike scheme which aims to encourage young people to cycle more.
It was one of just 17 areas across the UK to be given the opportunity to test the scheme known as Bikeability Plus. Eleanor Weaver has more.
And from push bikes to motorbikes, Lincolnshire will be placed firmly on the motorcycle map, with the announcement of a motorcycle show being held in May.
The showground will be hosting the Harley-Davidson Europe Super Rally as it makes its return to the UK after 26 years. I went to Lincoln Harley-Davidson earlier today to find out more.
The man who owns the largest collection of Victoria Crosses in the world has stepped in to stop the sale of medals belonging to the last surviving Dambasters pilot.
95-year-old Les Munro plans to auction off the medals to help fund the upkeep of the Bomber Command Memorial in Green Park, London.
But Lord Ashcroft says he'll donate £75,000 to the cause in return for the medals being given to a museum in Mr Munro's native New Zealand.
The trial into the murder of Ivan Zdanovich has continued at Lincoln Crown Court today. The The 24-year-old was found dead after a fire at his home in Gainsborough in January last year. Two men, Martinas Kupstis, aged 25, and Andris Geodratis, aged 29, are on trial for his murder. Our reporter Owen Bellwood is at Lincoln Crown Court right now. And now in sport, the FA are planning on capping the number of non-EU footballers allowed to play in the UK. Martin Hollinshead has more on this and the rest of today's sport.
Well, we'll come to that cap on players in a second, but first, Lincoln City drew 1-1 away at Wrexham on Saturday. The Imps are now 12th in the Vanarama Conference and are unbeaten in their last 3 away games. Now, the FA have said today that they plan to cap the number of non-EU footballers allowed to play in the UK. Chairman Greg Dyke warned that Premier League football is in danger of having nothing to do with the English people, and under new proposals, only the best non-EU players will be allowed to play in England. And in athletics, Jessica Ennis-Hill has announced her return to action after nearly 2 years. The Olympic heptathlon champion missed the 2014 season after giving birth to son Reggie in July. However, she is now training to compete in the 100-metre hurdles in the Great City Games in Manchester this May. And finally in cricket, New Zealand beat South Africa to reach the World Cup final for the first time in their history. South African-born batsman Grant Elliott helped New Zealand win by 4 wickets after he finished 84 not out. They will play the winner of Australia and India on the 29th of March. That's all for your sport. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Martin. Well, the weather has been all over the place today with a lot of showers as well as sunny spells. Hopefully we won't get caught out in the rain on the way home tonight. Lucy Hickmott has our weather forecast this afternoon.
Well, it has been a mostly dry and sunny day, but clouds will gather into the evening and the temperature for the rest of the day will be about 7 degrees Celsius. It will be cloudy overnight and tomorrow will be mostly sunny and cloudy again, with temperatures about the same as they were today. That's all for your weather. Back to you in the studio.
That's all your latest news, weather and sport for today.
Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at LSJ Tweets for the latest news as it happens, and log on to lsjnews.co.uk for more.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Good afternoon and welcome to LSJ News. I'm Rachael Lowes and here are your top stories. Save Links Library campaigners are protesting outside Lincolnshire County Council's Scrutiny Committee today. The group is resisting the Council's proposal to turn 30 libraries into community-run centres. This comes after a High Court quashed the decision in December. We'll have more information later. Events are taking place across the country to mark this year's Holocaust Memorial Day. In Lincoln, St John the Baptist Church is hosting a special service of remembrance. This year marks 70 years since the liberation of Nazi concentration camps, including Auschwitz. Hundreds of thousands of pounds could be invested into the Lincoln Mall's reinvention. However, this could come at the cost of small businesses currently operating there. Banks Long & Co has acquired the shopping centre and plans to update the complex into a food and entertainment venue. The mall is currently home to a variety of independent shops that have been told they will have to relocate their businesses. A planning application is currently being prepared and is expected to be submitted next month. Too many CCTV cameras are useless. This is the warning from Government Surveillance Camera Commissioner. Tony Porter explained that many CCTV cameras across the country, including here in Lincolnshire, are not being used effectively, either because they're out of date or in the wrong area. He also said that the local authority in the West Midlands were able to save £250,000 by reducing the number of cameras in use. With 138 government CCTV cameras across Lincoln alone, we asked the public how useful they think they are. We'll have more on that story later in the afternoon. A new mural has been unveiled at Lincoln's Sincil Bank Stadium. The artwork features faces from the community and ex-Lincoln City manager Keith Alexander. Funded by the Community First programme and the Lincoln Big Society Fund, the artwork was produced by graffiti artist James Mail and people from the surrounding area. Since its unveiling, the artwork has attracted mixed opinions, with some people taking to Facebook to brand the mural a monstrosity. And now over to Ross Garrigan with your international headlines. New evidence released by Alcohol Concern shows that their Dry January initiative does, in fact, provide benefits. The campaign means people have to go without alcohol for a whole month. It has been reported that 79% of participants from last year's scheme saved money, while 62% had better sleep. Lincoln's Steep Hill has been named one of Britain's prettiest streets. The Telegraph has named the picturesque street in the top 10 in Britain. Steep Hill has previously won Britain's Greatest Street Award in 2012. More to follow in Lincoln's tourist attractions in our feature at 3:45. And now it's time for the weather with Will Longman.